Good evening and welcome to Propel Talk Show. My name is Tamara Holmes with the Aerostar Avion Institute, and we are so excited to be back for episode 5 of Propel. Propel Talk Show is all about moving community forward, and tonight we have a very special guest with us. But before we get to that, I want to update you on some things that we actually had in play last week. We had on the show Georgina from the Federal Aviation Administration, and she talked about all of the work that we were doing with the National Black Coalition of Federal Aviation Employees. Well, that event was last Monday. We had an amazing turnout, and we also had back to school. We talked a little bit about that, but this last episode that we did was all about CEO Boot Camp, and if you have not got a chance to check out that show, we really want you to go to our Facebook page, Tamara Inspires of the Aerostar Avion Institute, and check out that. We dropped a lot of nuggets last week and gave a lot of information on how to become a better CEO for your organization and for how to build more professional development within your organization. Again, my name is Tamara Holmes. I am the host of Propel Talk Show. We'd like to give a special shout out to our sponsor, Resilience Partners, who we absolutely love and support. If you want to find out more about Resilience Partners, you can visit them online at resiliencepartnersnfp.org to find out about their services in fiscal management for nonprofits. So I want to show you our website. You can look us up at the Aerostar Avion Institute.org. That is AVION Institute.org. And to find out more about what we do, you can go down to the bottom, sign up for our mailing list right here. You can click to sign up with your name and your email address and find out about our programs. We have some amazing programs that we want to launch, that we will be launching this year. And we just found out within Chicago Public Schools that we will have the first aircraft maintenance program launching at Dunbar High School. So we are so excited about that. If you are interested in finding out about that program, you can visit afterschoolmatters.org. Type in keyword Aerostar, and you can find out about our program at Air Force Academy High School and at Dunbar High School. So we have a special guest coming on today with us, and the name of their organization is Praise Productions. That's P-R-A-I-Z-E Productions. And I want to show you a little bit about this organization. And this young lady is incredible.
Revival the Answer is Praise Productions' 7th theatrical production. I wanted to create something that every human could connect with, and this show is it. It deals with the highs and the lows of the everyday human experience that everyone will experience at some point of their journey through life. Whether you are young, old, woman, man, married, or single, everyone will take away something positive from this production. This production is divided into 3 parts: death, burial, and resurrection revival. In death, we deal with the things that are slowly killing us and the things that we need to die to in our life. Whether that happened from adolescence or through adulthood, whether it may have been a death in your family or a divorce that you have recently experienced. Then we go into set 2, which is burial. Burial in the sense of not dying, but don't mistake my cocoon for a grave. It's those periods in our life when we have to get isolated and we have to separate ourselves from other people in the outside world in order to do that self-reflection and that needed work that takes us into set 3, resurrection revival. In resurrection revival, this is when we are ready for that next level. We are ready to dive into what it is, our purpose is, our passion, and go to that next level in our life. And I feel like with this, everyone goes through those cycles at some point of their life. Now, art should make you feel, think, and act. And when you leave from those seats, you're not only going to be revived, uplifted, but you will leave healed.
So with us today, this evening, we have the Reese Davis. If you guys have not heard about the work that she's doing in Chicago, you are completely missing out. Praise Productions is all about using the performing arts as a holistic approach to healing. And starting at what grade?
We take them as young as 3.
As young as 3 years old. So you guys, I was completely impressed. First of all, I want to have full disclosure. I met Miss Reese Davis as an awardee of the revival event this year that she held in March, which is a promo that we just showed you. But I received an award called the Pillar Award. Now, I knew about the awards before I actually even knew about the event, which was kind of weird because usually if it's an award ceremony, it's like a gala, or it's like, it's usually, I thought it was like the name of the organization was like the Pillar organization that does pillar stuff. And then come to find out that you actually did this award ceremony within the theatrical production. So tell us a little bit about first the overall goal of Praise Productions and a little bit about how you got started in that.
Well, Praise Productions, we are a 501c3 community-based organization out of the city of Chicago, primarily arts infused. We made 8 years this year, so this is our 8th season. We have 3 major platforms. Our first platform is our Performing Arts Academy, where we teach dance and other arts-related activities to youth and adults. Our second platform is Outreach, where we go into CPS schools and partner with other organizations to bring arts enrichment classes, where there's to help supplement their curriculum or their program that already exists. And our third platform is our company. So we have a professional adult company, Rise Pro Elite, and we also have a youth company that goes out and performs.
So how do you, out of all of those 3 pieces, how have those impacted you on your journey? Outreach, the performing arts, and the professionalism. How have each one of those components impacted you throughout your journey to start this organization and where you are now?
Well, I started this organization when I was 25, right out of grad school.
What? You're not 25?
No, thank you. I'll take it. But I knew growing up I always wanted to do something in the arts. I always loved dance. I danced professionally for several years, also with Joe Hall Dancers in Chicago, based out of Chicago. And I always had a need. I was an educator for 5 years too, so I always had that knack for education and teaching. So I wanted to infuse both my passion and my skill and my education to really make an impact in our communities. And I knew outreach was one of those things I always wanted to do. Growing up in the more suburban areas, I could see how a lot of children and a lot of youth in inner cities were not allowed at the same opportunities and programming at the same level.
Even in performing arts, that's one of the things that I saw from growing up, that it seemed like a lot of kids had opportunity in the performing arts programs and sports, just not when it came to like science, technology, engineering, and math stuff.
Where I feel like with dance, when we look at dance, a lot of times they have to go downtown. So in our actual south side of Chicago, west side of Chicago, I feel like we don't always have the same level that you'll see like if you go downtown Chicago.
Right.
Or that same branding or that same name. We think of it of more of a mom and pop so park districts, you know, things that are, I'd say more grassroots. So I wanted to still have that same level of excellence that is offered in the suburban areas and in our downtown areas right here on the south side and the west side of Chicago.
Wow. So the outreach part, how are you using the holistic approach? You know, what does that look like in outreach within like Chicago Public Schools, where they have so much trauma, so many different aspects of the everyday school environment, community environment? Hear about the violence, the guns, the drugs, the poverty. How is dance and the performing arts, quote unquote, ministering to those kids?
I feel like it allows them a positive outlet to express themselves creatively. It also sets up a positive environment where they can be with like-minded children who share the same passion, which is always good. Because and then we surround them with professional artists that serve as their role models and mentors. Through our programming, we do exposure through the arts. So we take them to go see Alvin Ailey and DTH and other professional companies, especially professional companies of color.
Right.
So then they can see themselves through, you know, these artists that are on stage, and they can see what they can really do if they work hard with their skills. And then we partner them with other teaching artists, either in our professional company that helps mentor them, get them ready for college tours, college applications and different things like that, where we'll help walk them through. Also auditions into performing arts high schools and colleges.
Wow. So you usually don't hear about performing arts and dance companies helping with college applications, and you know, because that's usually all about, you know, building character, building self-esteem, and just really a lot of the soft skills. But you know, to go to that level, how much of that, how many of those kids have come back and actually shared stories of how dance and what Praise Productions has done for them has put them on a different trajectory, especially when it comes to college matriculation and maybe even scholarships for dance?
Exactly. So we have a lot of those students come back, and of course the kids at this, we have a very family-oriented type of home-based school when I talk about our academy. So a lot of those students come back. They are like big sisters to the other students, share their experiences through college life, which of course excites the other youth to want to go and aspire to go to college and have higher level education. I always teach our youth that the skills that they learn through dance, they can take throughout. So they don't have to necessarily be the next Debbie Allen or Misty Copeland, but the discipline, the dedication, multitasking, working with their peers, and demonstrating leadership skills, they can take that in any profession.
That's true. That's true. One of the biggest things that I noticed about your production from last year was not just the professionalism, which was awesome, but you know, the quality of dance, the uniformity, all of the different age groups. I think we saw kids from as young as 3. Was the professional dance company in that also?
Yes.
So you literally can see kind of like
40s.
Wow. So you literally can see the progression and the visual depiction of that revival, like of that maturity level, from the little girls that's actually like just doing dance for play to the serious, you know, dancers that were that are professionals that came out and were literally acting like with their bodies. It was crazy. I don't think I've ever seen a performance like that. So if you guys are watching now, we are live with Propel Talk Show with Miss Reese Davis on Channel 21, CAN TV, WOW, RCN, and AT&T Uverse. You can call in 312-738-1060 if you have any questions specifically about how performing arts transform your upbringing or childhood. Did you grow up going to the dance studio? Did you get scholarships? Did it build character? You know, was it a positive outlet for you? Call in to talk to Miss Reese Davis about how she's done it. She's running a professional dance company, outreach, and a dance studio for young adults in Chicago. If you want to find out more, you can visit Praise Productions. What's the website?
PraiseProductions.com.
PraiseProductions.com, and that's Praise with the Z. 312-738-1060. So kind of take me back. Take me back to when you first met dance.
I actually started late in the dance world.
Really?
I did. So I was on dance teams when I was like middle school and high school, but actually training within the studio, I didn't start until I was about 19. And then,
really?
Yeah, and I didn't go to school for dance. So my degrees, my bachelor's is in secondary education, my master's in education and leadership. So I didn't even have that background. So when I wanted to go professional, of course I had to work a lot harder. Yeah. Usually it takes about, 10 years to become a professional dancer.
And they all start at 3.
Exactly. So I was living in Munster, Indiana, traveling all the way up north to Joe Hall's dance studio, taking about 20 classes a week while in grad school and while teaching full time.
I'm gonna pull you over.
So it's definitely possible. But yeah, I started late, but that's why I also have a heart for the pre-professional dancer.
Yeah.
Who maybe started when they're youth, but then life happens. You know, I have a lot of our pre-professional dancers are single moms, or, you know, they started and then they had kids, and so they stopped because they had to raise a family, and so they're now getting back into it. But with me starting late, I kind of have that heart for those types of dancers.
You know the struggle firsthand.
Exactly. I was like, even though I don't have children,
college loans, and then you start trying to be a dancer
and quit your career.
College.
So yeah, I definitely know the struggle, and I have a heart for that. So, you know, like, you can come to a rehearsal, you might have a baby in a stroller while we're dancing, but we try to create those welcoming environments, and I feel like that's where we really flourish. That's the holistic approach to it. So although we still have a level of, in a spirit of excellence, and discipline, we want to welcome everyone.
That's what I really like about, one of the things I really like about Praise Productions. As a businesswoman, you know, seeing how you've literally turned what has been hard for a lot of artists to do, turn your craft and your passion as an artist into a business. How hard was that leap? Was it a leap, or was it just a natural progression of, you know, I had this dance school and now we have people that are able to put on a professional production, let's just make it. Let's just make a dance company. Like, what was the transition, and how hard was that for you to go from just running a dance school to actually having a plan for a business?
So I, like I was saying, I was teaching for 5 years, and then I quit my career to do this full time. So that was a huge leap of faith. But I knew since I was a child, I knew even in undergrad that I was only going to do 5 years of teaching. So my 5th year, I was like, yeah.
So you went to school for a 5-year career?
Well, you know, I always wanted to have a degree for a backup. If I break my leg or something happens, and I enjoy teaching.
Okay.
Teaching runs into my family, but I always knew I was going to do 5 years, and I was going to follow my passion. So in the 5th year, I was like,
just so you can say, hey, Mom, Dad, I tried.
Yep, I had those parents who were like, I'm not paying for dance school, so you figure it out. So yeah, and I quit my career and did this full time, and it progressively grew. I mean, but of course, starting off, I was on unemployment. I had to move in with my mom, so I had to make sacrifices, but I knew if I made the sacrifices that, you know, it was going to come back. I knew whatever seed I planted, I was going to be able to harvest later on. So even though I was young in my 20s, I made those sacrifices of, okay, let's work hard, let's grow this vision. And 8 years later, now I have all the moving parts. So now where we started were just classes at Ada Park in Morgan Park in Chicago. We grew to now, you know, having multiple sites and 5 satellite sites plus our home base site, where we serve over 500 youth last season.
Wow.
So
the season is starting right now.
Yes, we just started yesterday. So
how many, day one, what does that look like? How many kids like showed up? So wide-eyed, ready to like tap dance you into chaos?
Well, day one, we just opened up for our youth company. So starting tomorrow, we'll have everyone come in. But I start with a parent meeting, because I believe, from of course teaching, you know, of course involving their parents with the youth. So we sat down, talked about expectations, spoke about vision. Of course, the kids were super excited, but I like to lay down ground rules.
So the kids were there for the meeting?
Yeah, I make sure the kids understand. That's so they sign a contract, their parents sign a contract for a youth company, so they know their expectations and they know what, you know, their responsibilities.
You are with us live with Miss Reese Davis of Praise Production. Just doing a wonderful job in creating impact and opportunities for young people within Chicagoland area through holistic approach to performing arts. And she has done an amazing job with, you know, still being a teacher in a lot of aspects, a businesswoman. Where do you find time for you? Because I saw the production, and I know that took a year. I know that took a year of planning to be able to pull that off. So what where are you in all of this?
You have to make time for yourself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm blessed now that I understand business a lot more, a lot different at about to be 33 than I did at 25. Before, it was like all work, and sacrifice.
Yeah.
Now, I know the importance of balance because we are human. And
That's
so
right.
we do need rest. We need, an outlet ourselves. So although around production time in the summers, I do like 12, 14-hour days, 16-hour days easy.
Yeah.
I make sure that I take time to go spend time with my family. I vacation. And it's a thing of making time because we know running a business, we can be busy every day, all day.
Yeah.
So it's just making sure that you have those times because as a visionary, the vision can't flourish if the visionary is not taken care of. So I know if I don't
That's
take
so
care
true.
of myself, it's going to be a consequence within the vision itself. So
Yeah.
I had to make sure I put myself as a priority and know the importance of
When did you start doing that? When did you learn that lesson?
I know it's not bad. A year ago.
Yesterday?
Right. So after this last production revival, when I got revived, I'm like, I got to stay this way.
Right, that was literally your message, that the visionary gets the vision first. So I'm sure you went through that whole transformation process, even writing that. We are live tonight, Propel Talk Show with Miss Reese Davis. Wow, if you want to call in 312-738-1060, we're talking about using the performing arts as a holistic approach to teaching and training young people and young adults. I have to admit, I am terrible with all things performing arts. I'm left and right brain. I can write a poem. I can't sing a lick. I can't. I think I can dance, but if my kids see me dancing, then they probably say, "No, I can't dance." In our last few moments, what do you want to share about the vision and the future for Praise Productions?
Well, of course, being year 8, I always say this is a year of new beginnings. So as we continue to expand throughout our communities, just reaching more of our youth, making sure that we're still doing a positive impact.
Yes.
I always say that arts is the medium, but the goal is to really make positive impact into our future, which is ultimately our youth and these young adults. So continuing there, of course, expanding our outreach, expanding our academy. We'll have a big show coming back up in March of next year, our spring production. So I'm currently writing on that. And of course, future-wise, we'd love to tour those shows and take them to other cities outside of Chicago to really expose our youth.
Well, thank you so much tonight for tuning in. If you want to learn more about Praise Productions, visit praise.productions.com to find out about their programs. This has been Propel Talk Show. I'm your host, Tamara Holmes. And catch us again next Wednesday night, 6 p.m. on CAN TV. Thanks so much and have a great night.